Coming to you live from Hell Entertainment Studios. Sinner Sundaze. With your hosts, Diggz and aGrace.
Hey, what's up, man? I think it's pretty obvious right about now who you're looking at, but I'll tell you anyhow. I'm Shaggy Too Dope, the Southwest Strangler.
And I'm Violent J, the Duke of the Wicked.
And together we happen to be
the Insane Clown Posse.
And right about now, it's time to get a big fat shout out to Hell's Entertainment. They're a media outlet for all touring artists.
They offer videography, design work, photography, motherfucking freshology. Are you a touring artist? Do you get out there and grind? Or are you a boring artist? Do you sit home and whine? Because if you're a worker, hook up with Hell's Entertainment.
That's right, Hell's Entertainment. You can reach them at www.hellentertainment.com.
And if you're not done with that, go to hell!
Hey, my headphones were down, so I couldn't hear myself. How are we doing?
How are we? Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas. All of that stuff. Hope everyone had a fattening, healthy, fun holiday. And by me fattening, I mean a lot of food. Because what's the holidays if you don't eat a lot of food and have a hangover the next day or in a food coma? Let's call it as it is.
Or a weed hangover. Because that's a thing. And I felt that today.
Is it a thing?
Yeah, it definitely is a thing.
I wouldn't know because I don't.
Next day, what's the word I'm looking for? Residual? That's not right.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I don't either. But anyways, next day high is a thing. So, you know.
How was your holiday, Ash?
It was good. I had a good holiday. Got spoiled. Had a good time with the fam. And, yeah. Nice. I went, hung out with Ty, did a bunch of shit, gifts, did nothing, and then went to the fam, did a bunch of gifts, did nothing, and watched movie and hung out, did nothing.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
How about you?
We hosted, so everyone came here, brought their gifts here. I did not leave my house, but it was one busy fucking day, let me tell you. A lot of food. We did not do your traditional Christmas dinner. We did a taco bar, which was fantastic.
Jealous.
We had Mexican soda, which was phenomenal.
What is a Mexican soda?
I don't know. The wife found it at Walmart, and their flavor is on point.
Okay. What was the flavor?
There was mixed. There was like pineapple, there was lime, there was grapefruit, and it tasted like what it said. So
it's always a positive.
I was a happy fat kid because, I like me soda.
I did ham, baked mac. Okay, lots of dessert. Mac. Oh, yeah. Shit was fire. But, yeah, it was a good day. We hope all of you had a good day as well.
Absolutely. Welcome to episode 16 here at Sinner Sundaze. We appreciate you guys coming to sin with us. Tonight we are going to have Omar from the Phoenix Within on with us shortly. And make sure you guys pump those comments and questions in there for him, and we'll have a good time. But before we get to that, we got a little bit of music news.
News.
Yeah. Do you want to kick it off? As you can see, we are not in the same room today.
I know.
Ashley's broom is broken, so she can't fly over. So,
Clever.
It is what it is, but we can still do it like we used to back in the day when COVID first kicked in.
Yeah. Hey, we're still doing it, and that's what matters.
Absolutely.
So I was slacking on the news front a little bit. Where am I? Right
Here.
here. But with 2022 coming in a week, there is tons of tours kicking off. So I'll run by a couple with you guys. We got the Pretty Reckless, Dynamite, and Shinedown hitting the road. I'm excited for that one. I know you are too, Diggz.
Mohegan Sun, Connecticut.
On the way, we will fucking be there. We got Black Veil Brides, Motionless in White, and Ice Nine Kills, which has been a fan question tour for a while for the three of them to go on tour, calling it the Trinity of Terror, which I like. And I'm pumped about that one too. I'll probably most likely be there. Very excited. We have our friends Raven Black. They'll be touring with Static X, Dope, Fear Factory, Mushroom Head. And on some of those tour dates, there will also be our friends Twisted. Obviously not the tour dates we want them to be on, but that's fine.
But still, Mushroom is a killer band to shoot. So is Raven Black.
Fuck yeah.
So we will be in attendance for that one as well.
Oh yeah, 2022 Entertainment will be at any show you could basically throw a rock at. So we'll be there. Deftones is touring. Goo Goo Dolls is touring. I feel like they haven't fucking done that in a long time. I
haven't heard that in a long while.
You haven't either. John 5 and the Creatures will be on tour. We also got Welcome to Rockville. I think that's the first festival I've seen posted for 2022. That'll be in May. They got headliners like Kiss, Korn, the Foo Fighters. Gosh, so many amazing. It's a 3-day festival, and I think there's like 30 or 40 bands each day. Like, it's insane. That's in Daytona, Florida. Maybe I'll take a trip to Florida because fuck it. But yeah, tours, super pumped. You know, with life still being going the course it's going, whatever. Just be respectful for your venues and your bands that you're going to see. You know, just follow their protocols so we can all enjoy live music, being live. You know, that stuff.
1000%. And the big takeaway from that one is be respectful.
Yeah.
The venues and the tour managers and the tours, they're going to ask different things for different bands and things like that, as far as proof and masking, and just do as they ask and go enjoy the show. Don't be one of those dickheads who's going to put up a fight about it. If you're going to put up a fight, stay home.
Wait, yeah. And yeah, that's what I got. Bunch of good shit coming. Pumped.
I got some little bit of underground news, if you will. I got my handy dandy notebook. But before we get that, can we just comment on the suit tonight?
Yeah, the suit's
cat
fine.
Suit.
I like, breaking it out.
Suit.
Just become tradition.
It comes out on rare occasions. It got broken out at Tech 9, so I was told. You
were sober before.
Anyway, music news on my end. Astronomicon 5, as we know, Magic Ninja Entertainment, is the weekend of April 22nd to the 24th in Michigan. They announced 2 of their guests this week. This won't be anything you're excited about, Ash, because you're not into wrestling. But if you are, they have Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Cool Diesel coming there, and X-Pac as well. I know
who Kevin Nash is, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, but you're not going to get excited like you did when Jason Mewes got announced last year.
No, and wasn't even there.
Yeah, so. So those are the 2 guests already announced for Astronomicon 5 in Michigan. So, and also we're going to touch on the Gibby Stites Magic Ninja news real quick. It is official. Gibby is off of the label. He fulfilled his contract with his album. Nothing but love and respect to Gibby and Magic Ninja, of course. We wish Gibby all the best, and we'll continue to support Gibby in all of his endeavors in the music industry. So, Gibby, keep pushing. You got this. And you got Hell Entertainment in your back pocket, so let's do this. Then ICP announced, and I don't know how true this is, so I'm throwing it out there. Fagel Lovers posted about it as well. They announced their 2022 location for the gathering already.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's not where you would really expect them to throw the gathering. Port Luck, Alaska.
Interesting.
I don't know how serious Violent J was when he posted about this, if he was high, but Port Luck, Alaska. That's a hard place to get to.
Is it?
And it's also a rundown place. He posted a link to go watch a video of what happened in Port Luck, Alaska. I will post that on hellentertainment.com in the show review recap for this show here. But
what do you mean? What happened?
Yeah, it's like a rundown deserted town now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to give too much away on it because it's a kind of a fun video to watch. So
I'll watch that shit.
You can check it on hellentertainment.com later on this evening or tomorrow morning, depending how lazy I get after the show tonight. Because I'm still in a food hangover myself.
Right?
But that's really the news that I have right now for this episode.
For dots.
For
if
dots.
I was with you today, I would stab you with my this my little axe earring here. They're sharp. Wait, how do I do this?
There you go. Just like that. Should we slicing some necks?
Dude, I'd slice your neck. You would definitely have been stabbed with this earring today if I was over there.
You probably would have stabbed yourself earlier if you were here because you probably would have got it caught on something while we were setting up. But the cameras never roll for the behind the scenes stuff like that. So I can never embarrass you.
I know. I thought we were going to start doing that.
Well, I thought you were going to start showing up. But.
Oh, this guy.
This guy's got jokes. We're waiting for Omar to come back in. We're going to bring Omar in shortly.
Up. I'm here.
I know you're here, and I appreciate you being here. It's just,
Do you know how expensive an Uber is?
Yeah, I do. I also know how expensive it is to fix a car, too. So
exactly.
I understand. I understand what's going on.
Whatever.
Omar is in the back room. He's ready to come in and get wild and shenanigans with us tonight. So let's bring in Omar from the Phoenix Within.
Yeah.
What's up, Omar?
Hey.
How are you?
What's poppin'?
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you give a quick brief? I know the other guys couldn't join tonight. Give a quick rundown of the band, and we'll get into how you met, when the band started, and things like that.
Cool. So the Phoenix Within is a rock band from here in Queens, New York. It's fronted by myself. I'm a singer, songwriter, guitarist. My name is Omar, and it's backed by three brothers: Nick Narlis on the bass, John Narlis on guitars, and James Narlis on drums.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
I love that. That's cool. They're all brothers.
Yeah, our last band that we had 2 weeks ago, there was brothers in that band as well.
Yep.
For Bloodline Theory. So that's pretty cool. So you guys established in 2012. How did the band come together? What was the thought process of getting the band together? Kind of run us through those beginning moments, if you will.
So I founded the band in 2012. In 2012, I was actually just still writing and putting everything together. The original lineup didn't consist of the three brothers, the three Narlis brothers. It consisted of my longtime friends and musicians, Lawrence Turco on drums, Kenneth O'Donoghue on bass, and Joseph Balzano on guitar. And of course, the help of the studio producer, Rob Freeman. He's the singer and guitarist of a band called Hidden in Plain View. So that, I founded the band, and these were the members that originally started it. And then, life stuff happened. One went to law school, one went into a family business and all this stuff.
Totally.
So the album that followed after that was a fully acoustic album because I was on my own. So I continued to use the moniker, the Phoenix Within, which, and I, played in like over 15 different states. I, ran through two different indie labels, both based out of Philadelphia. One was Crybaby Records, The other one was No Hope Records. And then fast forward to 2018 was when I met Nick, who's the bassist, Nick Narlis. I met him through his father. I work with his father. I work in a college, in Jamaica, Queens, New York, called York College. And his dad works on campus as well. So one day he saw me carrying my guitar. He's like, "Oh, my kid plays bass. He's looking to get into something." And I was like, "Well, here's some of my music. Give it to him and let him know if he likes it." And sure enough, Nick hit me up, and then we spent the remainder of that year just playing out New Jersey, Pennsylvania, a couple of shows in New York, and just writing, just so much writing. And then the other two brothers joined, and in 2019, we started releasing music as this new lineup.
That's awesome. I love that story. Yeah. I'm glad that you pressed on, still did your thing, recorded the album that you wanted to. Good for you. You didn't let that stop you.
Hell no, I'll stop when I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it, right?
When did you start playing music?
I started when I had hair.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. It was a long, many moons ago. I started when I was in high school, my senior year. I had some friends. I started really late in the game, probably 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
When I started, I had some friends who were in bands. I constantly went to shows. And a good friend of mine, Gary Solman, he's the one who actually, he gave me a guitar. He lent me a guitar, he's like, "Here, go take this," and he would show me songs and stuff. And then the remainder of the time, I would just go to shows and just stand right by the front and just look at the fingers, what they're doing. I was poor. I didn't have money for classes, so that's how I
brilliant.
learned.
Wow, that's brilliant. I've never heard
going.
anybody learn guitar like that. That's amazing. That's very cool.
I just kept going. One thing, I at first I started learning to play songs that I liked, and then it's turned into something else where it was just I needed to write down my own lyrics, my own words, my own experiences.
Totally.
And it just evolved to what I'm doing now.
Are you the main writer for the band?
Lyrics-wise?
Yeah.
Yes. Music-wise, it's completely different nowadays. In the first two albums, it was just, me and,
right.
And of course, whatever helped the producers in the studio come with whatever musical elements. Because, once the juices start flowing and ideas start flying, things get incorporated. But with this particular lineup, it's completely different. One of the songs that we released this year, for example, Pessimist, which we released in January, that one was written by, sure, everybody added elements, but it started off with a riff from Nick on the bass. Nick he's a mean bass player. He's a really good bass player. And, one thing just led into another. So the musical elements are always all of us, always. It's a mesh.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to back up a little bit here. When you said you were going to the shows and kind of studying the guitar players, were there certain guitarists that you were going to see consistently to study how they were playing, or was it just whatever show was coming around just to go see and study different hand movements and different guitar players?
It was pretty broad. I didn't have one, and I felt like it wasn't like they all just kept coming either. There was one local band. They were called Out of Luck, and they were a punk band, from here in Queens, New York, and they were a big inspiration for me just because they went to the same high school, but they were good. I couldn't for me it was I grew up in a very religious home, so they try to suppress what I listened to, and so when I started branching into that, I was just here's liberation,
Totally.
So I was completely into them. So whenever they played, I would definitely try to be there a lot, watch them play, and learn from there. But everything else was just as the bands came in through the Newfound Glory when they would come in a van,
Fuck yeah.
Cody and Cambria, Thrice when it cost $8 to go see them,
Insane.
Papa Roach when they came to CBGBs, just it was $7, not even $10 to go see these bands back in the day,
It's amazing.
So yeah, whatever sounded good, whatever was wild and liberating.
Right.
Absolutely. And to Ash's point, that's an incredible way to learn. I'm a visual learner myself, so this day and age, YouTube helps out a lot.
Oh
for
my
me.
God.
I
I would
am-
love that.
am a visual learner. I cannot sit down with a book or instructions.
Yeah.
Like I need to see it. And if I can see it and do hands-on and reenact what they're doing, I'm going to learn that way.
Oh yeah.
So I can imagine how to learn playing guitar that way because I can't keep up with the way their hands move in general. So
yeah, it's that kinetic learning, right? Like hands-on.
Totally.
Seeing it done
Feeling
definitely helps, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it can be done. That's how it's done.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, let me try when I get home, you know?
So are some of those bands that you have listed, Thrice, Papa Roach, Coheed, were they some of like your bigger influences for you wanting to write your own lyrics and just start doing that?
It's a couple. I started with like even like poppier stuff like
Okay.
Blink-182, you know, Saves the Day. I'm a big Third Eye Blind
Hell
fan.
yeah.
Like, I love Third Eye Blind. That, you know, but yeah, no, definitely like, yeah, I would say like when I got into like my 20s, like it's definitely like Third Eye Blind was a big one for me. Like, just I found his lyrics like just so weird. Like, I was just
Totally.
like, wow, why write it this way? Why write it that way? You know, why tell your story in this fashion? Bands like the Killers, like I really got into the Killers.
Yeah.
Like, he's another weird one. Like
Yeah,
I like
he
that. The dude from the Used, you know, I liked his emotional screaming,
Oh yeah.
like
Right.
his angst. You know, I like stuff like that. Senses Fail. Oh man, there's so many
Ooh,
Bayside.
yeah.
So many things. But yeah, eventually it just got to the point where I didn't want to just play guitar, and I didn't want
Right.
to play other people's songs. It just got to the point where I'm like, I want to write. You know, and
Get it
and I
on
do
out. Yeah. No, hey, you do a great job. Definitely dig your stuff. What's one of like a message that do you like to give to fans, like in your lyrics, if there's any at all? Like, do you write about certain things, like on an aspect, or just whatever you're feeling, you're just gonna throw it out there?
I definitely like to think that I'm broad. I like to think that, but I try to touch on a little bit of everything for sure. So, you know, like in this album, for example, the latest album we just released on November 28th is an album called Overdue. And Overdue is a little bit of everything, I like to think. You know, it starts off with a song called Copycat. It just talks about, and this hits close to home to me. It talks about originality and authenticity in one's own artwork. And for me, that's a big thing. Like, you know, like you'll have, you know, not to hate on anybody, but yeah, to hate on people. Like, you know, like you'll go watch a band and they sound exactly like some other band.
Totally.
And
Absolutely.
when they get somewhere in their set, they cover that band that you were thinking they sound just like it, you know? And it's
Right.
like I learned by watching bands, you know, but like you never forget that they are the band. Like, they are,
Yes.
that's them, that's their flavor, their essence, you know, and you
Yeah.
should be able to take in from everything to make something new. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be copy pasting. You know,
Right.
so copycat is essentially that. You know, so that's just teaching
That's
people
good.
to
I
take
like that song.
be authentic. Yeah, be authentic. There's nothing wrong with being influenced,
Right.
but you got to be authentic. You know, so that to me was an important thing. Then the second track on that album is a song called South Ozone Park, where I just talk about that's the neighborhood I grew up in South Ozone Park, Queens. So I just talk about the schools I went to, you know, my life growing up, you know,
Totally.
you know, getting things on layaway and use sneakers and all this stuff. So my first summer job, you know, and all that stuff, I tackle all that stuff. And then there's other songs like Daddy Issues, which I think is pretty spot on. Like, you know, like a little self-evaluation of myself. There's a song called Tenfold where I quote Dr. Martin Luther King. And it just talks about the essence, the power of words. How you can rip somebody apart with words. You can teach hate.
Yeah.
You know, you can disintegrate people, or you can use it to bring them up. You know, help them get stronger. You know, be better. There's songs like Certain that talk about the lack of control that we have in certain things in our lives. There's a song called Remake where it's just about redoing yourself and, you know, taking the hits, falling down, but then getting back up and trying it again. You know, there's a little bit of everything. I would like to think. There's a song called Awareness that just talks about suicide awareness. and breaking that stigma, just bringing that to attention. Mental health is a real thing. But yeah, a little bit of everything.
Totally.
So with your library of songs and staying on this topic, is there a song that you've written that kind of just hits differently to you when it's played when you play it live, with either emotion or feelings or something or a song just overcomes to you out of your library?
It's weird. I just had this conversation with somebody because it's like sometimes when you're playing the songs that you write, you have to rechannel yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're writing something because let's say I was watching a TED Talk or something. This is a real story, actually. I was watching a TED Talk one day and the TED Talk just really hit home. And so I started writing some words down, and then I reached for my instrument and I started, writing some music for it. And then the song started building up on that. The song is complete now. I go to the studio, I record it, I release it. You kind of forget about it. It's like, especially for me, like once it's out and released, it's out of my brain. I'm done.
Totally.
But when I play it live, I have to go back. And that can be a bit of a challenge. If the song is very emotionally charged, a song like Awareness will do that to you. Like when I wrote Awareness, it was, I had just finished reading. It turned into something. It was like basically somebody approached me and was like, "Hey, I really like this." It was a song called "Meme" that I had written, and we got into a little personal conversation. I'm not gonna say who the person is, of course, but basically the person had come up to me and was telling me that I was like one of the first persons who was now finding out that he's coming out of the closet, kind of thing, and he was worried about what his parents would say to him and how his parents would feel about this, and you could see that it was really weighing on him. And Awareness came out of that, where it was just like, here's a kid who feels like he can't come out to his own parents. It just, I don't know. I can't help but get into that state of mind and just, I'm emo, dude. Like the emotion comes out,
I love that.
It's like, then I get on stage and it's like, I'm going through the song and I see this kid telling me what he's telling me.
Well, yeah. And like, okay, so you're like a voice for them in a sense too, like being able to say that out loud, like your voice for them when they don't have their own voice. And like, that's amazing. And
sometimes you channel it. You don't have a choice.
Totally. Yeah. And I love that too. Even like as a fan of music, I feel like sometimes I can we channel what you guys are, channeling.
Oh, 100%.
And every song is different, right? Like I have I sometimes hate to talk about what I thought about writing a song. I actually went to go see a musician. He said the same thing. And I was like, I totally fucking get you, dude. Like, because it's like, I want you to listen to it. And I want you to have your own connection with it.
Yeah,
totally. When I grew up listening to music, I didn't have the artist telling me you would listen to it and you have your own music video in your head, right? Like you're like, oh shit, this song's fire. Like,
exactly, yeah.
You have your own video in your head.
I love that.
So I try to refrain from what I wrote this song about. I try to, but it does come up sometimes. But I just go with it.
We got a comment in here from Sepsis. They're they're a band out in our area that's been on our show before, and they're just saying, really beautiful song ideas. Wow, adult topics are rare and welcome. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much, dude.
They're a gnarly band out here, and thank you, Sepsis, for putting that in there, because it is rare that you get those kind of topics and songs and discussed. And your point,
rare you get them discussed.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
to your point, Omar, words can help, whether they're coming from you, especially coming from a musician, someone idolizes. Your words could change someone's life. So
yeah,
thank you for all that.
I do want to, so you had dropped Overdue. So I do want to get back. I want to make sure we highlight your new album that just dropped November 28th. Overdue. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Overdue was originally going to be called Overdue. D-O. Because at first it felt like we were doing a lot. You know, the band was booking a bunch of stuff and playing a lot of festivals and playing a lot of out-of-state shows while going to the studio, while shooting videos. Almost every song on this album has a music video, you know. So it felt like we were doing a lot. But it went from like, you know, I thought we would be done in a year recording, you know, mastering and releasing everything. And it actually took us 3 years. So it took me 3 years to make this album. So I was like, fuck it. We're calling it Overdue. Like D-U-E.
I love that.
It came to completion. And, you know, we are very proud of the piece of work. Like I said, the songs go through a lot of ranges. It starts, I'm a big pop punk, you know, punk fan. So It starts with that kind of vibe. But then the album gets progressively heavier as it gets towards, you know, the end.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was done intentionally. That was done on purpose. Even the topic that's being discussed in the songs, it's just trying to tell a story. You know, like ease you into us, and you know, giving the listeners a chance, you know, to adapt to it.
Right.
So you say it was 3 years in the making on this album. In 2020, you guys dropped the album Established. So was Overdue being written while you were finishing up Established? How did those kind of cross?
So in 2013, we released I released the first album with Phoenix Within, which was self-titled. And it was only, I want to say it was 10 songs or 11 songs. And then in between that space, I dropped another EP called The Great Deception, which was only 3 songs, a little heavier, weird stuff. Fast forward to 2020, what I did was I took all those songs from that full length, the self-titled full length, and that EP. I had them mixed, remixed, remastered, and I put it out. And I was like, hey, you know, the first time I released it, I was kind of like iffy. Like I didn't know what to name the album. It's the first time I ever really fronted a band.
Totally.
There was no I was very insecure, you know, like just it was new territory for me. But in the process of remixing it and seeing like, and at the same time I'm comparing it to what the new lineup is doing, you know, I'm just like, I feel like the band is now established. Like I'm like, I feel better about this. So I combined those two, remixed, remastered, re-released it as Established. And that's the story behind that album.
Excellent. Yeah. When have you been dropping the music videos for each song, or like what's your for the Overdue?
So for Overdue, I love music videos. I grew up, you know, like I said, I would, you know, that was like when internet was starting. I'm old as fuck, dude. Like, you know, like the videos were just starting to come out, you know, and stuff like that. Like that you can go and access them on your own. You know, you didn't have to wait for MTV and shit.
When MTV was actually MTV.
Yeah, it was actually MTV. You know, so it's like I love videos. I love the idea of like, you know, a visual representation of words. You know, like it's I love shit like that. So I have a lot of fun in it, and we always try to like, you know. Like the minute we had a song, like I think the first one we did was South Ozone, which was this song about my neighborhood where I grew up. And so what we did was we went to my apartment in Woodhaven. We emptied out a whole bedroom and just put all the fucking instruments in there and just started playing like
That's cool.
3rd floor of a New York City building. Like we're just like, I just put a sign on the door like noise will stop soon. My bad. Like, but I love videos. So yeah. So every single we release, we tried to do a video, except for one song called Hypothetical. We did a lyric video for it, but all the others have like actual videos.
How do you guys do your own videos, or do you have like someone come in and help you out?
We do some ourselves.
Yeah.
I love the idea of it, but it's very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's,
just,
you guys, I don't even have to tell you guys about editing, dude.
I live for editing. I love editing music.
You're crazy.
He's crazy.
my patience is like, I'm like, I could be doing so many other things right now. So I'd rather, just work with other people. So I did get to work with Brendan McKnight, who's a local from Brooklyn. He works with a lot of local bands. I've also worked with my friend Danilo Cordova. He's a musician from a band called the Dreamland Fire. But he's also been doing videos himself, and he's terrific at it. I love his approach. It's a little more natural, it's just like let it flow and like, and then I've worked in the past with Chris Newhart. He's in a band now called Sleep Cycles. They're based out of Pennsylvania. He's a great film guy, producer, just commercials, all kinds of nonsense. And then I've done stuff myself where I just put the camera on the tripod, like shoot this, stop, shoot that, do this, and then sit down for like a weekend and hate my life while I edit.
It can get tedious, is the word I like to use.
It does. I think you gotta have a passion for it too. Like,
oh, totally.
For me,
I could tell you. Go ahead.
I was to say for me, it's not the tedious part because I like to get the creativity. Like I'll get to the end of editing, like the rough cut, and then wipe it all out because something else came to mind.
Well,
but then for me, it's also listening to the same song 9,000 times in the span of like 48 hours on repeat over and over.
Well, that's like part of the tedious
category.
Yeah.
Or like,
but that's
like
the thing,
this
if
little
you
part.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Or this little part you're pulling back every 5 seconds. You're like,
exactly.
Why isn't this lining up for 2 seconds?
Like I can do that while I'm writing a song, right? Like it's what I do. Like I'll
scrap
write something and I'm done. Like next, and you do it over and over. I don't feel the hours go and the time.
Yeah, exactly.
When I'm film editing, I'm like, that's how you know you don't like it. Like that's how you know.
Yeah, when you're clock watching it and counting your minutes, how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, exactly. No, like whenever I music, there's no what's a clock. Like I don't know. Like,
you're just going.
Everything else is in the background, But no, editing is just too hard. So I try my best to leave it to somebody else.
That's cool. That's cool. You work with like different local cats too.
Yeah, no, you have
That's
to.
awesome.
You have to with music.
Right.
There's so many artists in the world, Like you don't know what kind of, how they're gonna see it through that lens. How how they're gonna interpret your song. Which I try my best when I give them the lyrics. I'm like, I have no ideas. Here, I was like, don't ask me what I think about it.
That's
Interpret it your own way, and let's do this. Because it's just they're also artists, it's a collaboration. You gotta see how it comes out.
Oh, absolutely. And every videographer is going to have, like you said, their own vision of how they want to shoot it. So to work with to have a numerous amount of other cats to work with gives you that opportunity to get it looked at in a different way to find that right videographer for you. So
exactly, you just got to be patient. You got to have the faith. Yeah, you got to understand it's art. It's always going to be interpreted differently. It's always. Yeah, I love that shit.
That's cool. I like that. The story of how you love music videos. So you're like, hell yeah, for my band, I want a bunch of music videos. So that's cool that you do that. Because especially like a lot of local cats don't go out to do a lot. So the fact that you're doing that,
I think it's super important for any local person any local band. Like you reach out, man, find a videographer and collaborate. Because honestly, like we could send a link to a song and people are not going to give a shit, but the chances increase when it's a pretty cool video,
Well, that goes back to our visual.
Yeah, it's a business. You have to try it.
You
have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Totally. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Diggz, you got some stuff? I feel like I've just been talking, but
I'm just letting you run with
more
it.
Stuff.
But no. So with Overdue out now, I also saw that you guys put out a third tablature guitar book.
What?
Oh, look at that! Hang on, I'm gonna keep that up there for a second.
What do you say?
There we
go. A book? You say a book?
What's a book?
That's nice. That's a nice book.
Tell us about that. Tell us what's going on in there, and
yeah, please.
So at the height, at the height when COVID was ripping through, it became one of those things where it was like, what do we do to stay afloat? What do we do? I'm poor. Like I don't have the technology to like have like really fancy HD
Totally.
cameras with like a real soundboard, like, really, like the way the big cats were doing it, so I could only watch how they did it, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do that. So what's next? And then I realized, have I really, it was one of those things where like I process things, I have to think about it for a while, and then I go to bed and I wake up and I'm like, Eureka, like, so I thought to myself, have I really done everything that I could with the songs that I've already released? So that's really what it came down to me. That was like a business question, an artsy question. It was just a question I posed to myself, and it was like, yes, okay, so I've released the song. In the case of the first album, I released the songs, and I only released one music video. It was for a song called "Free Myself," which was done by Chris Newhart in Pennsylvania. In the second album, I did a lot of my own low-budget films for the songs. But that album streamed more. So I knew that there was a connection between the music videos and the release of a song, where it's like, hey guys, I just released a new song. Here's some new merch. That helps a little. Touring definitely helps a lot, which I did get to do with that album. So now it's like, I realized, I was like, you know what? I think I started reading into like mechanical royalties, and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh shit. I've never published these songs. I own these songs. I have the copyrights to them,
Right.
I was like, I never did that. I'll do that. So the first book I wrote was for the album that I remixed and remastered. That was one of the reasons why I remixed and remastered. I was like, you know what? I'm going to combine them all and create one book. So at the height of COVID, that's what I did. I locked myself in my room. I relearned all the songs. And I wrote them in a guitar style songbook. So basically a person with a guitar and just their voice can read it, play it with no problem. So I did that with the first book, and then I did it with the Whispers album, the second album that we did. And now with this one, all the Nick and John helped with this. So this one is like more, I would say, even more professionally written.
Okay.
It actually has like the music, notes as well, besides the tabs and stuff, and the lyric section towards the end. The first two books that I published were more of, they're legit a songbook where it's meant and written in a way where it could just be one person with a guitar and their voice. And it helped, it's nice to throw around the term now I'm an author,
Yeah. How yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's just, I also felt it's something different and unique. It's something that I can offer to people at shows, and people will be like, hey, I want to buy your book, and can you sign it here? And it's just something a little more unique, I guess. Like, it's not just a shirt. It's not just a sticker.
No.
It's not just a pin. It's my songs.
Very unique.
My words,
it's the songs.
Words. It's the work that I've been putting out, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to publish it, and I'm going to release it. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what we look forward to do to any other album that we release,
That's amazing.
That is amazing, because you don't hear or see any other bands doing something like that. Back in the day, we'd all go run out to your local music shop and get your cassettes or your CDs, open up the booklet and look for the lyrics.
Yeah.
And this is just taking it that next step farther, where no one's really doing this. So kudos
That's
to you for doing that. It's
music,
amazing.
Right? Yeah. Digital music took out even giving credit to like people who do your photography.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, you ever think about that? Your cover art,
yeah.
your artwork for your album. Now, if you make it, it's digital. There's no artwork made.
Right.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
So the guys, we're part of we're members of the Recording Academy, and that's one of the things that they kind of push on you, where it's like, give credit where credit is due. I'm in the field of academia. We live by that. You quote something, you give it credit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm obsessed with, like now, like, in the inside, I could thank the person who made the artwork for our album.
Yeah, that's cool.
I could thank the person who took the picture of the band. Like I could thank the producers, the engineers behind everything, because everybody, had a say, and it helped elevate the song to where it is. And it's just important.
Totally.
It's just important.
And as photographers, credit is huge in our world. And as you know, I mean,
there's been instances.
Well, there has been. I mean, especially to your point, with the digital age now, people using photos and posting photos online and all their social medias and not giving credit. And that's one of the things that really, one of the top things that grinds my gears is when I see my photo being used. Awesome, great. Where's my credit?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it devalues. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it works like that also for the producers behind the scenes, for the
Oh,
engineers.
fuck yeah.
It's like back in the day, it's like, drums were, engineered by this person. They tuned, the guitar techs had their names out there. You knew who was who. And I feel like, for now, it's like all that stuff is kind of, it's gone. It's in the background. And you just assume that these artists, like, just did everything. And it's like, it's not like that.
There's a whole team. There's a whole team.
There's people just throwing out ideas and you try them and you run with it. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But, it's like, with that said, thank you, Megan, for everything. Shout out. I said I was going to give her a shout out.
Yes, Megan, thank you. She got us together here, and that's why we're doing this. It's all about the connections and the credit, for sure. I agree with that.
So for anyone watching and listening, where can they go and find that book if they're interested in grabbing a copy of it?
If they're interested in picking a copy, they can just order it on Amazon. Amazon has it there. You can have it shipped to you.
Perfect.
It is available on Amazon. It's available on our online store. Of course, if you order it through our online store, we'll sign it. We'll add a copy of the actual CD and the poster because that's how we roll. But you can order it if you want it right away. Amazon is the easiest, of course. And it's actually cheaper that way too. It just turns out that way,
Well, you get the extra goodies if you go through you guys directly. So
yes, but you get the extra goodies and all my fingerprints and stuff like.
And all the DNAs.
You might get like crumbs of like whatever I'm eating inside your bag.
It's a bonus.
What is this, broccoli? That damn vegetarian.
That's amazing. So you guys played some cool shows when we could play live music, and you did Blue Ridge Rock Fest in Virginia. How was that?
That was a true experience.
I bet that scene. I wish I could have gone out there to see that. Though it seemed amazing.
It's really wild. That's where I got to meet Cheyenne. From the camera effect.
Yep.
Phenomenal person. Also met her through Megan. Blue Ridge was a really wild experience, dude. So from the moment we got there, from like the get-go, so we get there and they completely mistake us for a different band.
Oh
no.
We had a really fancy Mercedes-Benz van. I had no say in the matter. John just showed up with his big ass motherfucking van, and so we load up our shit. The thing's got like a fucking PlayStation inside there,
Damn.
It's just too much. Anyway, we get to the fucking place, and it's completely to our fucking advantage because they look at the fucking van, and I think they assumed we were like some other I don't even know who they thought we were. I really don't know, but we got escorted. They literally took us off the line and escorted us all the way inside the fucking grounds of the festival.
That's amazing.
And then when we get all the way inside, when we get to the fucking liquid water stage, that's where we played.
Yep.
One of the main stages. We get there, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing is big, and we're like right next to it, like feet away from it. And then the lady looks inside the car, and she's like, y'all aren't that band I was thinking you were. And I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, oh shit, my boss is gonna be mad. I was like, if it helps, this is the stage we're gonna play at. And she's like, oh, thank God. She's like, just pull in there. She's like, I'm out of here. And she just moved out of there, So we got there, and it was like first class treatment. The thing was catered. We saw the Motionless in White was parked right next to us.
Sick.
Stall was right next to us on the other flank. Oh my God, it was so many bands, and they're right there. We were right there in the midst of them. And like I said, we got lucky enough to. We were the opener for that stage, but it was a main stage, and it was just really mind-boggling. And there was people there who had come just because they heard the songs on that Spotify playlist from Blue Ridge.
Oh,
they released their own.
Yeah.
And so people were there. I'm like, oh, they must be here for the next band. We're peasants. We're nobody. And showing they're there and they're singing songs, and then we finish, and then the security guard is all like, "Hey man," he's like, "Do you want some of your fans to come back here?" And I just looked at him like, "What are you talking about, dude? We don't have fans." So I'm putting away my stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, just let him in, man. No problem." Dude, we get back there, there's like 30 something people, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. I was
That's
like, holy shit, there's
amazing.
really
That's awesome.
It was phenomenal. You know, I took pictures so I can have proof, you know.
It really
I was like,
happened.
nobody's gonna believe me.
That's
and then we get
fucking
to,
sick.
So that was on a Friday, and then we had on that weekend, on Sunday we were playing Incarceration in Mansfield, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Incarceration was fucking fire. That same crowd that I think we had like 35 people that were, you know, at this event. The other one maybe had like definitely over 100 something.
Wow.
It was just like there though, they actually had like main stage, independent peasants over there, right? So like we couldn't even fraternize with like the main stage people.
Yeah,
that didn't exist there. So, and it just turned out like somebody in the main stage got sick, they got the COVID, so they couldn't perform. So they were taken out, and the headliner from the indie stage got put into the main stage, and then the Phoenix Within became the headliner of the independent stage. It just fucking turned out that way. It was just weird shit happening that whole weekend. So we ended up being the headliner, and it just turned out like so amazing. Like it was just phenomenal. Like, you know, like seeing like they had these shirts, you know, like at both festivals with, you know, the band's names. So it would be like Slipknot, Mudvayne, Mastodon, A Day to Remember.
Yeah.
Within. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. It was really humbling, you know. And it was just, these are the bands that you listen to, you know, like the
right. Yeah,
exactly.
White, like, yeah, they're heroes, you know. And it's just like to be amongst them, even like if it's in like font 8, like it's just like phenomenal. Like it's
amazing. That's dope. That's so now you know for next events, just to get yourself a really fancy band.
Mercedes van, you're good to go.
Definitely will work out.
It definitely helps. People are just like, oh shit, these must be rock stars. Meanwhile, I'm in there playing PlayStation 3, like, huh? Like,
well, I mean, if she didn't ask you who you were, I mean, technically it was their own.
Yeah,
fault,
no,
right?
they just looked at the car and they were just like, "That's a band. Get them off the line and like push them in."
You're like, yeah,
bonkers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome. Fuck yeah, I'm glad that was a good experience for you for sure.
As we start to wrap up here, Omar, we got a few minutes left. What can we expect from the Phoenix Within going forward with 2022? And we know the world is acting funky again. We'll put it that way. Are you looking to book shows? Writing another album? What can we look forward to?
We can definitely. We are always writing. That's one thing that this band is just. We're always writing. We do have something conceptually in the making, but we'll leave that for other times. For now, we just want people to really just give that album Overdue a listen and a spin. You know, go through the songs, see if anything like reverberates with you, if it strikes a chord. You know, we do have one show at Arlene's Grocery in New York City with the band Sleep Cycles, which are from Pennsylvania, and the headliners for that night is going to be The Color Fred. The Color Fred, the frontman of that band is an ex-member of Taking Back Sunday.
Yes.
So the show's gonna be fire. That's for legit.
Oh yeah.
And the rest of the year is really, we do have stuff in the works. We will be playing some festivals, but I'm not allowed to say what festivals. That's one
fair.
of these
That's
things.
Fair.
Yeah. So like, I could tell you that I can't even tell you which festivals. I'm going to tell you we will be in festivals. There will be festivals we will be playing in 2022. But the way it works is like they don't let you say. Like you're literally, if you say it, you breach the contract and then you're out.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. It takes away from the mystery of it. But we do have some festivals lined up. Cool. And the only thing that we're focusing our attention now is a tour to push the Overdue album. And to kind of like embrace the festival dates that we'll be playing. So that's 2022 in a nutshell. Is one show in Arlene's Grocery and New York City with The Color Fred and Sleep Cycles on Sunday, January 30th. And then we'll be doing some touring and festivals in 2022.
Fuck yeah. We're excited to hear. We'll definitely have your stuff up on hellentertainment.com so people can pay attention for those exciting festival announcements and what to look forward to from you guys.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you guys for having us.
Seriously.
Thank you
for giving me a chance to run my mouth and talk all this nonsense.
We love it. We love it.
Everyone out there listening in the internet world, please go like, share, subscribe to all of the Phoenix Within social medias. Give them some plays. Go check out the new album on Spotify. All the links will be up on hellentertainment.com with the recap of the show.
Yeah.
Omar, we thank you so much for taking some time out Sunday night with us. And we look forward to speaking with you again some point in 2022. Maybe when you're on a festival, we can catch you somewhere real quick.
I'll hit you up.
Definitely.
All right. Omar, thank you so much.
Definitely.
We will talk soon. And best of luck to you. Happy
Be
New
safe.
Year. Have a safe New Year.
Happy New Year. You stay safe, guys.
Thank
All right.
you so
We'll talk
much.
soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was Omar from the Phoenix Within. Such a cool guy. Great interview. Again, go.
What a nice
Why are you interrupting
guy.
me? I'm talking.
I don't. Well, it's about time.
You wouldn't shut up
I know.
like usual.
Not really.
But
But
anyway, go like, share,
for it.
subscribe to all the Phoenix Within social media sites. Be on the lookout for those unknown festivals that are coming.
Dun, dun, dun. Are you done? Can I go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying he was a really nice guy.
Yes, he was. For us here at Hell Entertainment Center Sundaze, aGrace Photography, we wish you guys a very happy and safe New Year. Don't be stupid. If you're gonna drink, get an Uber.
Yeah.
Or stay where you're at, you fucking dumbasses. On that note, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will see you January 9th with Tommy Church from A Killer's Confession and Jeffrey Nothing. We'll be chatting with him, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Happy New Year. Gotta find the button again.